Okay, so now we've got some more complicated expanding of brackets. So this is where we've got two different sets of brackets here that we've got to expand and then simplify. But we're still following the exact same rules that we did previously. So 5x to y plus 6x take 3y. Okay. Looks complicated, but it's not. We've just got to do the same steps over and over again. It's really not that tricky at all. So what's our steps? We go 5 times x makes it 5x. We multiply the 5 by the next part. 5 times 2y is 10y. Plus 6 times x is 6x. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18y. Alright, that's the easy part out of the way. Now the even easier part, simplifying. 5x plus 6x gives us 11x. 10y, take 18y, gives us negative 8y. Booyah! Just like that. Next one. Negative 5x, y, take 2, plus y, x plus 3. Alright, do the easy part. Negative 5x times y is negative 5xy. Negative 5x times negative 2. Negative and a negative makes a positive 10x. Plus y times x is yx, or even better, xy. Put it in alphabetical order. Y times 3 is 3y. Gather my like terms together. I've got negative 5x adding on an x. That gives me negative 4xy. 10x and 3x don't have any common like terms, so they just stay the way that they are. I simplify what I can and leave what I can't. Next one. 7y, x take 2y, y. Ooh, here we go. Here's something tricksome. Y to the power of 2 outside of the set of brackets. X plus 5. Alright. It thinks it's tricky, but it's not. 7y times x. Well, that's just 7xy. 7y times negative 2y. Positive times a negative makes a negative 14. And I've got the two y's in this multiplication, so that gives me y to the power of 2. 2 y's in a multiplication makes the power of 2. Now, y squared times x. That's right, yes I do. Well, that's just plus x and y squared. And plus 5y squared. Alright, gather my like terms together, leave the ones that I can't, There's only one 7xy, so he can stay there. I've got negative 14x squared plus 5, negative 14y squared plus 5y squared. That gives me negative 9. Negative 9 y squared, and then xy squared, there's only one of those, so he can sit on the end. Done. Simplified the parts I could, left the parts I couldn't. Next one. A little bit tricky. Negative 5xy, 1 plus 2y plus 6x y plus 4x, close bracket. Okay, here we go. Negative 5xy times 1. Well, that's pretty easy. 5xy. Negative 5 times positive 2. Well, that gives us a negative 10. There's no x's there, so that's just x on there. But there's 2 y's. That gives me y to the power of 2. Plus 6x times y, well that's just 6xy, plus 6 times 4 is 24, x times x is x to the power of 2. Alright, gather any like terms that I can. Negative 5y plus, negative 5xy plus 6xy gives me 1xy. That I don't need to show the 1, so I can just go to xy. This guy's his own person, so negative 10x y to the power of 2. And add 24x squared at the end. There we are. So that's worked example 13. All done for you. We're just following the same steps, bit by bit, bit by bit. Alright, worked example 14. Let's go. Now, this one's tricky. There's a special little idea that goes along with this. It's called FOIL. Means first. Actually, I'll show you the example before we get into how to do it. Is when you've got a set of brackets being multiplied by another set of brackets. Okay, like that. The process that we use, once again, is called FOIL. FOIL means firsts, which is we multiply the firsts together. First one in my brackets by the first one in my brackets. X times x gives me x to the power of 2. Then I do my outsides. So that's each part on the outside of my bracket. So that's on the outside, that's on the outside. Which gives me what? x times 3 is 3x. Then I do my I, which is my insides. Negative 5 times x gives me negative 5x. And last but not least is my lasts, which is the last here and here. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. So all together, that comes to x squared plus 3x take 5x take 15. Yeah, that's my individual parts. If I simplify that, I end up with x to the power of 2, 3x take 5x, well that's negative 2x, take 15. Okay? I'd really love it if you started out at least formatting it this way. That'll make things simpler for yourself to do each part. I'll also show you some nice visual cues later on as well. Now, next equation, x plus 2 and x plus 3. So we do FOILs again. Now first is x times x, well that's x squared. X to the power of 2. Our outsides, which is our x times our 3, is 3x. Our insides, 2 times x is 2x. And our lasts, 2 times 3 is 6. This one's even easier. So our equation looks like x to the power of 2, plus 3x plus 2x plus 6. And simplify that down. We get x squared plus 5x plus 6. Right. I won't do any more than that. That should keep us pretty well covered. You can really see the steps being formed there. So that's FOIL with 2 sets of brackets.